I'm going to do another video today as well. So I decided to do a video of how to comb your hair. Just something to do because I'm thinking about things and I want to talk into here without having to think about what words to say yet. So when I was a little girl, my grandma taught me how to comb my hair. And then when I was around maybe 15 or 16, the pastor's wife at a church that I was at exclaimed, somewhat in distress or maybe displeasure, as her daughters came in from playing outside. One of them had, she had to have had 10 or 20 burrs in her hair easily, and her mom was quite upset and was calling for scissors and telling her the only way to deal with it was to cut her hair off. And of course, the little girl was upset as well. She loved her hair long. It was maybe, it would be just past her shoulders. So anyway, we were all there for a music practice, and we're just chatting at that point, and I offered to get the burrs out of her hair. Her mom didn't really believe me, but I said I would. And most of it came down to patience and knowing how to comb your hair. So this is what my grandma taught me. Because when she was, well, even when she was older, they all had long hair. You just kind of, anyway, she said, you grab your hair, a little bit of it, just at the bottom, and you go really slowly, and you comb from the bottom up. And of course, what the mom was doing and why she was upset that there was no way she was going to get the burrs out was because she did what a lot of people do and just kind of stuck the comb in up top, and you go like that and it grabs because hair tends to tangle. So you go underneath and you go little bits at a time. And you can think about just about anything you want while you're doing it, because basically it's this, it's just a process of patience. And so maybe I'd sit here and compare how to comb your hair from the bottom compared to, where are we here? That. So this week, maybe last week, maybe even the week before, there's been a lot of new language coming up in one of the places that I hang out, which is online in YouTube and Discord community that talks about the meaning crisis. I alluded to that in my intro. And from time to time, as well as maybe reading some poems and things, which I haven't done yet, I'm going to talk about things that come up in the online discussions. Probably a lot of things that I really don't know. And words I'm learning, things it reminds me of. Kind of surprises me how very much some of the things that I'm hearing discussed and learning about actually remind me of places in my life. Here, let's thin this for a minute, take part of it here. And so yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to this today because I want to talk about a course that I started taking and some of the words that I've learned, and about places that I'm stumped and places that surprise me because, they remind me of things. And I might read a probably read a few things. I'll probably read a few notes that I made for myself. I'm still running into tangles up here. You get the other thing you can do is just kind of weed out the places that it sticks here. It's kind of just all about the gentle motion. And even if I'm going from the top like there, okay, so there's something that I can work on because I can feel that tug. It can't be a huge tangle because there's really just, nope, but there it is, like maybe 3 or 4 threads. They're not threads, 3 or 4 strands of hair that crisscross and want to grab onto each other. There's more of a tangle right there. Okay, that's got a big tangle. So that one up there, that would take a lot longer. So then, yeah. So the other thing I kind of do is I'll just, play one strand at a time. The interesting thing that's been going on in my life lately has been tying some of the things that I've talked about for ages about raising my son and working on his language into this course, and some of the planning things that I'm doing. I really do want to. What I'll probably do, I'm going to edit this one. I can tell I'm going to edit it. Okay, so here's a little bit. I can just kind of leave that down there. This isn't huge, but it is a tangle. One of the things I'm trying to let myself look at in life is the place where we create, not habits. It might be habits, but that's not the best word. Somebody used a better word with me. That I need to have places that have it's not just repetition. There's a pattern to them. They kind of come in a particular sequence, or maybe even just a particular time of day, place. Combing your hair is something that women used to leave a lot more time for. Morning and night. You have to brush your hair morning and night. Make sure part of it's to keep it tidy and part of it's to keep it healthy. It moves the oil down the length strands. I heard that too. I think my grandma said that, but my dad said that too. It always surprised me that he knew things like, how do you wash your face? How do you brush your hair? How you're supposed to, brush your teeth. The things I don't even remember if my mom talked to me about those things much. Other things, yes, but whether she really helped me to understand some of the flow of life, like the directionality of moving from one space to another. Okay, I'm thinking that where I found a tangle is in that bit that's still down the other side. How much is there? Okay, so we'll do this. The other thing that I'm thinking about while I'm combing my hair here is the fact that I can feel the texture shift, so that where they say about it being dry, or how you've there. Where are you? Let's see. Okay, so that's all done. Let me stay here. We'll put that over there. Okay, so now I've just got this bit. Motion is very calming. I think we've lost a lot in trying to make our world go too fast. There was something this morning I was thinking about while planning my other video that I would like to do for talking about things I'm learning. The other thing, it irks me at times that my brain shifts from words to silence, and I can feel the thought or the question there on the edge, and it doesn't frame itself into something I can say. But it's still there, just close enough that I can sort of feel its presence. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. If it's important, it will come back. Busyness, though. I think it might have been about busyness. Maybe it was. Yeah. If I look this way, I can see my vacuum. It sounds kind of weird that I've been thinking since I did my last video, which means I've been thinking since maybe January, was it, or February? I've been thinking quite a bit about things that I can do to represent places we discuss or places I write about. So I might do a video on cleaning my fridge. It's a bit of a disaster. I know it's a disaster. It's kind of a disaster on purpose. Like the rest of this place, which I've been slowly picking away at. There are odd patterns in here that have to do with places past that I'm writing about, and ways that I hide things, maybe from myself, ways that I process things. Love when I can feel these little pieces just slowly disengage. Yeah, there's piles of boxes, way too many books. I want to read a bunch of the books, which means I have to allow myself to read the books. Like I have to allow myself to clean the fridge. I saw a video came into my watch, list. Are you interested in this? Yeah, maybe. It came up about ADHD and processing. Clutter. That was what it was about, ADHD and clutter. And some of what the person was describing was something I've heard a few times, which is that it's not always about a lack of skill, and it's not always about procrastination, as in you don't want to do something. It got at something that I've been struggling with, which is if I do something I want to do, like this, it kind of gets like this, like a big tangle. And what happens is the more I want to do it and follow through on it, the less I seem able to. So I'm going to go back and watch that video. And I thought what I might do is just be silly about it. Just don't worry about the vulnerability level. Don't divulge everything, because do let myself go to the places where I just learned that there wasn't that much point to being vulnerable. A lot of that comes from the style of kid raising that I had to do. All right, what's here? Yeah, see, something as tiny as that can stop me for years. Moving forward on publishing a book, my memoir or poetry or things that I'm just sitting on. And there's there is a little bit of dust or something there, but basically there's nothing that really should be stopping the comb going through. It's a tiny little stopping point. It's just that something about encountering it and feeling the tug seems to bring up a place or level of fear that goes to something maybe bigger. And so I let the little things block me because there's big things behind the little things. And I do think for some people, and for myself included, it might be worth talking about why things that seem insignificant look huge. Or like the mom with the burrs, all she could see was the burrs. She couldn't see past the burrs. And so the only thing on her mind was burrs are hard to get out. And they're in hair, and burrs plus hair equals impossible. And I've never been one to kind of go, well, just because it looks impossible, it must be impossible. So, yeah. How long did it take me to get the burrs out? Okay, maybe a half an hour, but I really didn't feel more than maybe 10 minutes because we were all talking. All I was doing was slowly just going through the hair and, moving a strand here, moving a strand there, and, pulling a piece of the seed head or whatever out of the way, every once in a while. And oops, I have a little bit going there still. And basically just being kind to her hair and to her. And I was talking to the little girl. And yeah, by the time we finished our meeting, the mom was like, I don't know how you did that. I thought that would take hours to come out. And I was like, no, not really. It just needed a certain touch. And it just needed the ability to see the fact that hair comes in long strands and burrs come in little clumps. And all you're really doing is moving the, strands and the clumps in, one direction and another until they're happy with each other. And that's really all it is, just knowing how to comb your hair.